Good afternoon to all the participants. Welcome back in session 2 of day 4. I am Manish Pratap Singh, Assistant Professor at the School of Law and Legal Affairs, Noida International University, and I welcome you all back in the session 2. We are truly privileged to have with us today the esteemed speaker, Dr. Shashikant Tripathi sir. Sir has an impressive academic background, having completed both his PhD and LLM from the prestigious Faculty of Law, Banaras Hindu University. Before joining the Chhatrapati Shahuji Maharaj University, Kanpur in 2022, Sir served with the dedication as an assistant professor at Government DKPG College, Chhattisgarh, where he contributed significantly to teaching, research, and academic mentorship. His journey reflects a deep commitment to legal education, combining rigorous academic expertise with practical insights into the field of criminal law, human rights, and constitutional law. Sir has also an active participant in the academic community, presenting at numerous national and international conferences, seminars, and webinars, and has an impressive body of work with over 14 publications, including 2 books. His membership in prominent professional bodies such as the Indian Society of International Law, New Delhi, the South Asian Society of Criminology and Victimology, and the Indian Society of Victimology further highlights his engagement with advancing legal scholarship and research. Sir is currently serving as the Chief Proctor and Director, Legal Cell, Chhatrapati Shahuji Maharaj University, Kanpur. Let us all extend a heartfelt welcome to our distinguished speaker. I now have the pleasure of inviting Sir to begin the session.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Very good afternoon to everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Firstly, I would like to give a thanks to FDP or organization, Noida International University, Greater Noida, School of Law and Legal, because the topic of the artificial intelligence is a very burning issue, and most of the countries are, doing the work on this issue. As we know, that artificial intelligence refers to machine system capable of performing tasks in typical require. Just I am interrupting. Just a wait. Few minutes. Kindly tell me the slides are changing or not. Thank you so much. So, as we know very well that artificial intelligence refers to the machine system capable of performing tasks and typically require human intelligence such as learning, especially learning, reasoning and problem solving. In India, state, fintech, algorithm, education platforms, and even their predictive policing system. While AI has immense potential to drive growth in simultaneously poses legal risk. So, friends, today I am speaking on a very pressing issue: how artificial intelligence is reshaping crime in our society. The theme of my lecture is AI and its criminal impact on the society. The new frontier of the crime. As uh, we know that the technology evolves, so to do the methods of those who seeks to exploit it illegal purposes. So, um, that the crime explosions a double edged sword. Okay. So in this slide, I'm focusing that we know that AI is not inherently good or bad. It is just like a double edged sword. जैसे तलवार में धार होती है उस तरीके का जो है AI का कुछ वो है. क्योंकि on the one hand it helps us advance sciences, medicine and governance, and on the other it provides criminal with powerful tools to operate on a scale far beyond human limits. Frauds, cyber attacks, and child exploitations are now enhanced by the AI. You know, after introducing the AI tools, cyber crimes, frauds, or child pornography, yeah, child exploitations are, enhanced very badly. What makes this even more concerning is how AI generated content blurs reality, making it harder for us to distinguish truth from deceptions. और ये AI tools are very strong, मतलब even जो है हम इस स्थिति में नहीं होते हैं कि हम जो है किसी भी तरीके से जो है AI जो जनरेटेड जो है हमारे पास कंटेंट है उसके बीच में जो रियलिटी और जो एक हमारा कल्पना है, मतलब लाइक जो एक रियलिटी और जो एक लाइन होती है मेकिंग इट हार्डर फॉर अस टू डिस्टिंग्विश बिटवीन ट्रुथ, जो वास्तविकता होती है और डिसेप्शन होता है, धोखा होता है, उसके बीच की जो रेखा को पहचानने में भी हम कई बार इनकैपेबल हो जाते, राइट. सो यहाँ पर जो है आई फोकस्ड ऑन 3 पॉइंट्स स्पेशली: scale beyond human limits and the multi-domain exploitations and blurred reality. This is a very important slide because अभी जो आप देख रहे हैं, you find in the society that the AI, after introducing the AI in the society, the pattern of the crime is totally changed. अब totally change कैसे हो गया कि oftenly you heard about the डकैतीज. मतलब पहले हम लोग जो है क्या होता था कि डकैतीज, चोरी और इन सब के बारे में, बैंक रॉबरी, इन सब के बारे में oftenly we heard about, हम लोग जो है बहुत जो है ज्यादा सुनते थे. But right now, after introducing the technology, we heard very accidentally these incidents in the newspaper. मतलब हमको ये जो इंसिडेंट्स हैं, इस तरीके के जो रॉबरी है या बैंक डकैती है या इस तरीके का जो आपको चीजें हैं, वो आपको बहुत ऑफनली जो है मतलब चीजें जो है देखने को मिलेंगी. क्यों? क्योंकि अब एआई का जो जब से इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ है उसके बाद से जो है आपको जो है सारे के सारे जो है साइबर क्राइम्स जो है ज्यादा देखने को मिलेंगे. अब किसी को जो है बैंक लूटने की जरूरत नहीं है कि वो जो है अपना गैंग बनाए और बैंक रॉबरी करने के लिए जाए और वहां पर जो है फिर पुलिस का इनकाउंटर हो, इस तरीके की चीजें जो है अब नहीं होती। अब क्रिमिनल्स आर वेरी जो है स्मार्ट, अब उनको जो है बिल्कुल इन्वेस्टमेंट कितना करना है, एक तरीके से जीरो इन्वेस्टमेंट है, और वो साइबर क्राइम्स के थ्रू जो है बहुत सारे जो है फ्रॉड्स कर लेते हैं। लाइक आप रोज पढ़ते होंगे न्यूज़पेपर्स में कि किसी के साथ साइबर फ्रॉड हुआ, ठीक, तो या साइबर जो है उसकी जो है डिटेंशन हो गई, ठीक है, उसको जो है किसी तरीके से जो है फेक कॉल आई और उसको वहां पर साइबर अरेस्ट कर लिया गया और उसका पूरा अकाउंट वहां पर खाली हो गया। तो अब किसी को जो है कोई हथियार उठाकर या किसी को जो है कोई गैंग बनाकर जो है डकैती या जो है किडनैपिंग और इस तरीके की चीजें करने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि उसके पास अगर जरा सा भी जो है दिमाग है, जो कि मैंने पहले आपको बताया कि ये डबल सॉर्ड है, जो कि मेरी स्लाइड में भी दिख रहा है कि हर टेक्नोलॉजी के जिस तरीके से पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव फैक्ट्स होते हैं, उसी तरीके से जो है अगर वो निगेटिवली जो है एआई टूल्स को यूज कर रहा है तो उससे बहुत सारे जो है फ्रॉड्स करके जो है वो सोसाइटी को हार्म कर सकता है, जो कि हमको बहुत इजीली जो है देखने को आ रहा है। सो हमको थोड़ा अलर्ट रहने की भी जरूरत है। Enable frauds and scams, the new sophistications. So voice जो है impersonation attacks and automated phishing campaigns and targeted vulnerability exploitation. In this slide, I'm going to be focused on the very serious issue, voice impersonations. Voice impersonation attacks is a very common tool for conducting the fraud and scams. The business email compromise scams now use AI generated voices and text to impersonate executive with starting accuracy, fooling employees into transferring funds. तो इसमें क्या होता है कि आजकल आप देख रहे होंगे कि आप कोई भी जो है छोटी सी छोटी जो है जो भी बिजनेस कम्युनिकेशन जो है करते हैं, ठीक है, लाइक if you have the life insurance, if you have the medical insurance, and if you have your vehicle insurance, या other than जो है some kind of communications like banks जो है operations, तो जितनी भी ये सारी जो है प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं या जितनी भी कंपनीज है आजकल वो एआई जनरेटेड जो है प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे टूल बनाती हैं और आपको सिर्फ एक लिंक भेजा जाता है और कहा जाता है कि यू जस्ट क्लिक ऑन दैट लिंक और इसके बाद आपके जो भी जो है क्वेरीज हैं वो सब एआई आपको आंसर करेगी। बट व्हेन यू आर कहते हैं जो है राइटिंग एनी प्रॉब्लम टू द एआई, तो वो एआई अपना जो है उस चीज को जो है हमेशा अपने पास डेटा सेव कर लेती है। सपोजिंगली जो है अगर कोई बंदा ये पूछ रहा है कि मेरा अकाउंट नंबर ये है और उसमें जो है ट्रांजेक्शन जो है बंद हो गए, तो वहां से जो है वो चीजें जो है आपके लिए फ्रॉड का जो है एक प्लेटफॉर्म बन सकती है। जनरली इसी तरीके से फ्रॉड हो रहा है कि अगर आपने इफ यू आर आस्किंग एनीथिंग टू द एआई ऑन द एआई प्लेटफॉर्म, लेक्चर लेना एआई प्लेटफॉर्म एंड यू आर शेयरिंग जो है इंफॉर्मेशन विद ऑन दैट प्लेटफॉर्म, तो वहां पर से आपका जो है फ्रॉड है। तो ये वॉइस इम्पर्सोनेशन में क्या होता है, आपको लगता है कि वो सामने बैठा हुआ बंदा ऑफिसर है, ही इज इंट्रोड्यूसिंग एज द कि XYZ जो है मैं ब्रांच मैनेजर बोल रहा हूँ और जो है हाँ मुझे आपका अकाउंट दिख रहा है एंड आपने फिर क्वेश्चन अगला पूछा कि मेरे अकाउंट में ट्रांजेक्शन जो है क्लोज है, वो इसलिए क्लोज है बिकॉज कहते हैं आपने केवाईसी नहीं की है एंड यू जस्ट कहते हैं सेंड द केवाईसी डेटा ऑन एआई व्हाट्सएप प्लेटफॉर्म एंड आई विल कहते हैं रिमूव ऑल जो है कहते हैं हर्डल्स ऑन योर अकाउंट। अब बंदा जो सोच रहा है कि वो एसबीआई के उससे हमको लिंक मिला था या XYZ जो है बैंक से जो है हमको लिंक मिला था और हमारी जो है जो बात हो रही है वो XYZ जो है बैंक से बात हो रही है, बट वो इट वाज द फ्रॉड, ठीक। और वॉइस इम्पर्सोनेशन से वो आपको इतना बिलीव करा देता है कि लाइक कि हमारे जो आपकी बात हो रही है वो एक ऑथराइज्ड पर्सन से बात हो रही है। तो ये सारे जो है थ्रेट्स हैं जो कि वॉइस इम्पर्सोनेशन में हमको देखने को मिलते हैं। साथ ही जो है वॉइस इम्पर्सोनेशन अटैक्स अलाउ द क्रिमिनल्स टू क्लोन वॉइसेस ऑफ द कंपनी एग्जीक्यूटिव्स, ट्रिकिंग जो है एम्प्लॉय टू ट्रांसफरिंग जो है फंड्स। सिमिलरली जो है फिशिंग में भी आपको जो है इसी तरीके का ऑटोमेटेड फिशिंग कैंपेन्स में भी देखने को मिलता है कि एआई ऑटोमेटेड सोफिस्टिकेटेड फिशिंग ऑपरेशन जो है क्रिएटिंग जो है कन्विंसिंग जो है पर्सनलाइज्ड मैसेजेस इन मल्टीपल लैंग्वेजेस दैट अडॉप्ट टू जो है टारगेट जो है रिस्पॉन्सेज। तो फिर क्या होता है कि लाइक जो है कि दे मतलब फिशिंग यू नो इट इज जस्ट लाइक अनवांटेड मैसेजेस, और ये मल्टीपल लैंग्वेज में होता है। लाइक इफ यू नो द हिंदी सो यू विल दैट मैसेजेस विल कहते हैं सेंड बाय द अटैकर्स इन हिंदी। अगर आप जो है एमपी में है और वहां की कोई लोकल लैंग्वेज है तो वहां उस लैंग्वेज में आएगा। सो वो आपके इमोशंस को जो है ट्रैक करते हैं, राइट, और ट्रैक करके जो है फिर उन इमोशंस पे जो फिशिंग मैसेज है अगर आप कोई क्लिक करते हैं या कुछ करते हैं तो वो सडनली जो है उस पर आप ट्रैप हो जाते हैं और आपका जो है आपके साथ एक साइबर फ्रॉड हो जाता है। लाइक आपका सिम कार्ड बंद होने वाला है, इस तरीके का मैसेज आया, राइट। जिस भी कंपनी का आप सिलेंडर यूज कर रहे हैं एंड वहां से एक मैसेज आया और मैसेज कंज्यूमर ने देखा और उस पर जैसे ही क्लिक किया तुरंत वो जो है एक आपके अकाउंट से हर चीज आज आपके जो है फाइनेंशियल अकाउंट से जो है लिंक होती है, तुरंत वो अकाउंट की एक्सेस होती है उसको और वहां से जो है वो आपके साथ कर देता है। वल्नरेबिलिटी एक्सप्लॉइटेशंस क्या है इसमें? टारगेट जो वल्नरेबिलिटी सेक्शंस हैं वो सब हैं एल्डर, ठीक है, या एल्डर जो है फ्रॉड एंड आइडेंटिटी थेफ्ट जो है सर्च एआई जो है फिल्स क्रिमिनल्स नॉलेज गैप्स जो है इनेबलिंग देम जो है कन्विंसिंगली इम्पर्सोनेट जो है ट्रस्टेड जो है इंस्टीट्यूशंस एंड द फैमिली मेंबर्स। इसमें जो बेसिकली जो आपका पर्सनलाइज्ड मल्टीपल एंड एडाप्टिव जो है वो है उसमें है इंटेलिजेंट वल्नरेबल ग्रुप्स में स्पेशली जो एल्डरली पर्सन्स हैं या जो न्यू यंग जनरेशन है, लाइक जो है जो बिल्कुल जो है ग्रोइंग टीन्स हैं, टीनेजर्स हैं जो कि लिंक्स वगैरह को जो इजीली जो है गेमिंग में और इन सब के लिंक्स में यूज कर लेते हैं विदाउट थिंकिंग अबाउट द रिस्क एंड ऑल। तो बेसिकली जो है ये वल्नरेबल सेक्शंस और वल्नरेबल सेक्शंस को टारगेट करना बहुत इजी होता है। Now come on the next slide, deep fake and just synthetic media. Deep fake क्या है? ये नई जो है प्रॉब्लम है जो एआई जनरेटेड है और इसके जो है बहुत ज्यादा रिस्क भी है। सिंथेटिक मीडिया के भी बारे में आपने सुना होगा। डीप फेक के बारे में मैं आपको रिकॉल करा दूं, जस्ट रिकॉल द जो डीप फेक इंसिडेंट। अवर ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर मिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी जो है इनका भी जो है एक डीप फेक बनाया गया। आपने देखा होगा कि डांडिया के वो हेलो, is any problem? So
no, so we can continue.
Yeah. So honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi, deep fake video was circulating by the cyber attackers. Like Prime Minister Modi was playing Dandiya in Dandiya in Gujarat. जबकि उस समय जो है ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब जो है वो वहां पर थे भी नहीं, बट जो है क्रिएटर्स ने इस तरीके से जो है वीडियो क्रिएट किया कि ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर जो है उसमें डांडिया खेल रहे हैं। बट आप सोचिए कि ये कितनी जो है डेंजरस टेक्नोलॉजी है डीप फेक की। डीप फेक रिप्रेजेंट्स परहैप्स the most visible threat of the AI misuse. They are not just harmless. They are not just harmless entertainment. They are being used for extortion, misinformation, and even political manipulations. A deepfake video can move stock market or disrupt elections. What is particularly dangerous is that detection technologies are struggling to keep pace, creating peace to keep pace, creating a crisis of authenticity, where we may soon question every image, video or voice we encounter. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर क्या है डीप फेक जो है जो वीडियोस का जो है वो जनरली जो है सिर्फ ये नहीं है कि इसमें कोई वॉइस ओवर कर दिया आपने या कोई इमेज जो है बनाकर दे दिया, यहाँ तक ही जो ये सीमित नहीं है, बल्कि इसके जो कॉन्सेप्ट हैं वो यहाँ तक भी हैं। पूरा वर्ल्ड कम्युनिटी में इस तरीके का जो है एक थ्रेट है कि कोई भी वॉर स्टार्ट की जा सकती है डीपफेक वीडियो से, किसी भी तरीके का रॉयट तक जो है रॉयट की सिचुएशन जो है क्रिएट की जा सकती है, र्यूमर्स फ्लोट की जा सकती हैं। इवन जो है आपने जिस तरीके से देखा कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर जिस प्लेस पर कभी गरबा खेलने की गए भी नहीं, उनका एक वीडियो बनाकर जो है सर्कुलेट किया सकता है। कोई पॉलिटिकल जो है रिवेंज लेने के लिए या जो है गुडविल को खराब करने के लिए किसी पार्टी की इस तरीके के जो डिफेक्ट वीडियोस यूज किए जा सकते हैं। शेयर मार्केट को जो है क्रैश करने के लिए भी जो है जो अटैकर्स हैं जो वो इस तरीके की जो है एक्टिविटी कर सकते हैं कि सपोजली किसी शेयर के वैल्यू को जो है कम करने के लिए उसके सीईओ को जो है फ्रॉडियल दिखाते हुए या इस तरीके का स्कैम में दिखाते हुए अगर उन्होंने कोई सर्कुलेट कर दिया तो उसके शेयर की वैल्यू जो है बिल्कुल दिनों दिन जो है कम हो जाएगी। तो ये सब जो है जो हमारे सामने जो है थ्रेट्स हैं, इसको भी जो है हमको मीट आउट करने की जरूरत है। नाउ एआई इन साइबर क्राइम एंड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जो अटैक्स, ये भी एक बहुत बड़ी थ्रेट है जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर अटैक्स के रूप में जो है एआई का जो है रोल जो है कुछ जो है जो है जो पर्संस हैं वो देखते हैं कि बियॉन्ड फ्रॉड एंड डिफेक्ट्स एआई आल्सो जो है सुपर चेंज द साइबर क्राइम। एआई पावर जो है मालवेयर constantly learns and adopts, making traditional defense obsolete. Autonomous AI system can exploit vulnerabilities without human guidance, executing attacks in seconds. This poses serious risk to critical infrastructure, our our power grids, water facilities, and transport networks. It comprise these could cause widespread chaos and disruptions in the society. आपको मालूम है कि जैसे कि एयर ट्रैफिक है, उसको अगर कोई जो है हैक कर ले और उस पर अटैक कर दे तो क्या होगा। एक स्काई पर एक एयर पे जो है एयर बस है और उसके जो है सिग्नल से है सारे जो है करके उसको हाईजैक किया जा सकता है। इवन रेलवे के सिग्नल्स को हाईजैक करके रेलवे को एक्सीडेंट किया सकता है। तो कुछ भी जो है पॉसिबिलिटीज हैं इस एआई के कारण। अगर आप इवन जो है यू कांट बिलीव कि अगर आपने कि मेडिकल के जो हमको प्रिस्क्रिप्शन जो है हम लोगों के मिल रहे हैं, अगर आप कोई डॉक्टर को दिखाने के लिए जाते हैं और उस मेडिकल प्रिस्क्रिप्शन को अगर आप एआई पर जो है अपलोड करके पूछते हैं कि मेडिसिन जो है डॉक्टर के द्वारा जो आपको प्रिस्क्राइब की गई हैं, ठीक है, वो सही है कि नहीं है या उनके इफेक्ट्स क्या है या उनके पॉजिटिव फैक्ट्स क्या है, तो वो सारी चीजों से वो वहां पर एआई जो है एक्सप्लेन करता है, राइट। सो एआई के कुछ पॉजिटिव मैनर्स हैं, लेकिन इसका निगेटिव मैनर हेल्थ केयर में क्या है कि जो क्वैक्स हैं वो भी जो है अपनी प्रैक्टिस को जो है वो क्या कर सकते हैं कि ये सिम्टम्स हैं, मैं कौन सी दवा प्रिस्क्राइब करूं, और वो वहां पर दवा प्रिस्क्राइब करना शुरू कर देंगे, राइट। क्वैक्स का मतलब जिनके पास डिग्री नहीं है, जो झोला छाप है, ठीक है, जो झोला छाप है और ये सब सारी चीजें हैं, तो वो वहां पर जो है चीजों को जो है इस तरीके से एआई को यूज करके जो है वहां पर अपना काम चला रहे हैं और चलाना शुरू कर देंगे, ठीक है। जैसे कि सपोजली एक पेशेंट कम विद जो है कि उसको जो है उसने डाला जो है एआई में कि भाई इनको जो है शिवरिंग हो रही है, इनको फीवर है, इनको कोल्ड एंड कफ है, हम कौन सी दवा जो है प्रिस्क्राइब करें, तो एआई आपको जो है वहां पर जो भी उसके पास जो है डेटाबेस है, उस डेटाबेस से निकालकर वो दवाइयां दे देगा और दवाइयां जो है कब कब खानी है, क्या खानी है, वो भी आपको प्रिस्क्राइब कर देगा। लेकिन इसमें सबसे बड़ी जो थ्रेट है वो ये है कि अगर आपका डेटाबेस जो है करप्ट है, राइट, और डेटाबेस करप्ट होने के चांसेस हैं, क्योंकि जैसे आप गूगल में सर्च करते हैं उसी से क्या है, एआई भी जो है जो सारी इंफॉर्मेशन कलेक्ट कर रहा है वो कहां से कर रहा है, गूगल से कर रहा है, या और जो अदर प्लेटफॉर्म्स में जो आपका डेटाबेस बना हुआ है वहां से जो है सिंक्रोनाइज करके आपको आंसर जो है उसका प्रोवाइड कर सकता है। लेकिन उस डेटाबेस में जो है फिर अगेन जो है उसी तरीके की प्रॉब्लम्स हैं कि एक तरफ एक अच्छा डेटा है और एक तरफ बुरा डेटा है, ठीक। तो एल्गोरिथम जो है वो ज्यादा जो है यहाँ पर जो है इफेक्ट होने के चांसेस होते हैं। एक तरफ वो जो है ऐसी मेडिसिन देगा आपको ऑप्शंस के रूप में, फर्स्ट ऑप्शन ये ले लीजिए, सेकंड ऑप्शन ये ले लीजिए, थर्ड ऑप्शन ये ले लीजिए, लेकिन ये जरूरी नहीं है कि एआई जो इंफॉर्मेशन दे रहा है आपको वो सही दे रहा हो। ये वही उस पर्सन के लिए हेल्पफुल है एआई जो कि जो है ऑलरेडी जो है कहीं ना कहीं जो है नॉलेज रखता है, या उसका जो है नॉलेज जो है 90% है, उसको एआई जो है 10% एनहांस करके 100% कर सकता है। बट जिसका नॉलेज 10% है उसको एआई 90% नहीं कर सकता, क्योंकि बिकॉज आप जब एआई टूल सर्च कर रहे हैं, जैसे चैट जीपीटी सर्च कर रहे हैं या कुछ भी कर रहे हैं, तो उसमें जो है आप ऑलरेडी यू विल फाइंड देयर कि that data which is provided by the chat gpt is not absolute, ठीक। it also has some problems, आपको रेक्टिफाई करना पड़ता है, आपको स्टडी करना पड़ता है कि हाँ ये तो गलत इंफॉर्मेशन दे रहा है, इस तरीके की दे रहा है। सो दिस काइंड ऑफ जो है प्रॉब्लम्स यू विल फेस व्हेन यू आर यूजिंग एआई टेक्निक्स। तो इस थ्रेट के साथ साथ में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जो है अटैक्स और जो है साइबर क्राइम्स जो या डीफेक के ये सारे इश्यूज भी जो है हमको देखने को मिल रहे हैं, राइट। एआई एंड प्रिडिक्टिव पुलिसिंग प्रॉमिस एंड टेरर, इसमें जो है पुलिसिंग के लिए जो है ऑफ कोर्स जो है दिस इज अ वेरी गुड जो है एआई इज आल्सो बीइंग यूज्ड ऑन द जो है डिफेंसिव साइड, लाइक इन प्रिडिक्टिव पुलिसिंग algorithms can identify hot spots, forecast crime trends and guide deployment of resources। तो इसमें हम सारी चीजें कर सकते हैं, प्रेडिक्शंस कर सकते हैं, राइट। हम जो है हॉट स्पॉट्स को जो ढूंढ सकते हैं कि कहाँ पे जो है वही क्राइम ज्यादा हो रहा है, अगर हमारे पास डेटा बेस है उसका, राइट। डिप्लॉयमेंट ऑफ द रिसोर्सेज, हम अपने रिसोर्सेज को जो है डिप्लॉय कर सकते हैं इजीली, राइट। तो ये सारी चीजें हम कर सकते हैं, लेकिन अगेन जो है जो प्रॉब्लम जो है वो सबसे बड़ी ये है कि दिस कम्स विद इट्स ओन पेरिल्स, बायसेस इन हिस्टोरिकल डेटा में रेनफोर्स रेशियल प्रोफाइलिंग और ओवर पुलिसिंग इन सर्टेन कम्युनिटीज। अगर डेटाबेस जो है पर्टिकुलरली जो है जब डेटा आपने फीड किया कि सपोजली जो है कानपुर के अंदर या उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर नोएडा में या स्पेशली वहां पर जो है जो आपके पास डेटा अवेलेबल था, उस डेटा को जब व्हेन यू आर जो है यू नो जो है जो है जो है फीडिंग द एंट्रीज ऑफ दैट डेटा, तो वो पर्टिकुलर उस समय का जो है डेटा एक पर्टिकुलर जो है कम्युनिटी के द्वारा या मतलब उस समय क्राइम किए गए थे, तो वो उसी तरीके के आंसर जो है इस समय आप जब उससे पूछेंगे तो वह उसी को जो है बेस बनाकर अपने आंसर्स देगा। तो इससे क्या होगा, डिस्क्रिमिनेशन होने के चांसेस होंगे। आप बात समझ रहे, यू आर गेटिंग माय पॉइंट दैट कि अगर डेटा ही आपका जो है मतलब जो है वहां पर अफेक्टेड है, या आपका डेटा जो है वहां पर इस तरीके का है जो स्पेशली फोकस्ड है, तो वहां पर जो है चीजें जो है आपको बिल्कुल उसी डेटा के ऊपर डिपेंड करती हुई फोकस्ड मिलेंगी। इसके अंदर ऐसी कोई जो इंटेलिजेंस नहीं है, बिकॉज ये मशीन इंटेलिजेंस है, ये ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस नहीं है। जैसे कि मान लीजिए कि किसी आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नोएडा इंटरनेशनल की फॉर एग्जांपल मैं बात करूं कि नोएडा इंटरनेशनल के पूरी यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर जो है अगर जो है एम्प्लॉयमेंट की हम बात करते हैं और उस एम्प्लॉयमेंट में अगर मेल जो है एक डोमिनेंस है कि मेल एम्प्लॉयज जो है ज्यादा है फीमेल एम्प्लॉयज के उसमें, तो जब कभी भी अगर आप एआई के थ्रू जो है अगर उस रिक्रूटमेंट प्रोसेस को जो है अगर आप करना चाहेंगे, तो वही डेटाबेस जो है वो उठाकर जो है मतलब मेल डोमिनेट जो है डेटाबेस को उठाएगा जब आप न्यू एप्लीकेशन उसमें डालेंगे। जैसे मान लीजिए कि आपने आपके पास जो डेटाबेस था नोएडा इंटरनेशनल का कि वहां पर जो है मेल एम्प्लॉयज ज्यादा है और फीमेल एम्प्लॉयज कम है, ये डेटाबेस आपने एआई को दे दिया। अब आपने एक न्यू एडवर्टीजमेंट प्रोसेस शुरू किया और जितनी एप्लीकेशंस आई थी उसमें से कहा कि जो मुझे सबसे अच्छी जो एप्लीकेशन निकाल के दो, मैं किसका रिक्रूटमेंट करूं, राइट। सो उसमें जो है चूंकि डेटाबेस जो है आपके पास क्या है, मेल डोमिनेटेड जो है डेटाबेस है कि जहां पर मेल्स एम्प्लॉयज की जो है उसमें जो है एंट्रीज की फीडिंग जो है ज्यादा है, तो उसके बेसिस पर जो है इस बार भी जो है एडवर्टीजमेंट की जो है स्क्रूटनी करने में या उसको एआई के थ्रू प्रोसेस करने में वो ऐसी वीमेन को जो है नेग्लेक्ट कर देगा या हटा देगा जिसका जो है बायोडेटा या सीवी जो है बहुत बेटर है इन कंपैरिजन टू जो है मेल, ठीक है। तो लेकिन चूंकि उसके पास डेटा ऐसा है कि जहां पर मेल जो है डोमिनेंस थी, इसलिए वो इस बार भी जो है रिक्रूटमेंट के प्रोसेस में जो है वो फीमेल को जो है नहीं सेलेक्ट करेगा, वो एक मेल को ही सेलेक्ट करेगा। तो उसी तरीके से जो है अगर जो है एरिया की जो है क्राइम में जो है ज्यादा इन्वॉल्वमेंट रहता है या एक किसी विशेष कम्युनिटी का इन्वॉल्वमेंट जो है उस डेटा को जो है तैयार करने में या उस डेटा को एक्चुअली जो है उसमें इंक्रीज करने में अगर उसकी डोमिनेंस ज्यादा वहां पर दिखती है तो वो उसी से कनेक्ट करके जो है डेटा आपको हमेशा प्रोवाइड करता रहेगा। तो इससे जो है ये प्रॉब्लम्स आने की जो है संभावना रहेगी कि प्रेडिक्टिव जो पुलिसिंग मस्ट बी जो है accompanied by the transparency, oversight and the community trust to just prevent their discrimination while enhancing their security। तो वहां पर फिर अगेन जो है ये है कि हमको जो है वहां पर अपना माइंड अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा और माइंड अप्लाई करके उसको सही जो है ऑर्डर देते हुए वहां पर जो है हमको जो है उस एआई टेक्निक्स को जो है यूज करना होगा। Vulnerable populations at risk, children under threat, elder exploitations and psychological जो है manipulations। तो इसमें जो है आपको पता है कि जब से एआई जो है इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ है एआई के उसमें जो है चिल्ड्रन और elderly and emotionally vulnerable individuals are increasingly at risk from AI crimes। AI has unfortunately enhanced the creation of synthetic child sexual abuse material, ज्यादा पोर्नोग्राफी से रिलेटेड जो है चीजें एआई ने जो है उसको जो है इजी कर दिया है और वहां पर जो है एआई के थ्रू जो है बहुत ज्यादा चाइल्ड सेक्सुअल अब्यूज मटेरियल जो है मेकिंग इट हार्डर टू डिटेक्ट एंड प्रोसिक्यूट जो है ऑफेंडर्स। Elderly people are targeted through sophisticated scams that exploit their lack of familiarity with their technology। Moreover, AI's ability to mimic human emotions enables psychological manipulations। That means deceiving people in ways that can deeply harm their mental well-being। तो ये जो चीजें हैं वो एबिलिटी और टू मिमिक द ह्यूमन बिहेवियर जो है एम्प्लीफाइज जो है साइकोलॉजिकल मैनिपुलेशंस टैक्टिक्स मेकिंग जो है इमोशनल एक्सप्लॉइटेशन फॉर कन्विंसिंग एंड जो है वाइड स्प्रेड। लॉ एनफोर्समेंट एंड एआई चैलेंजेस अपॉर्चुनिटीज। लॉ एनफोर्समेंट जो है कैसे होगा क्या होगा, तो ग्लोबल लैंडस्केप एआई लैंडस्केप में मैं बता दूं आपको कि द यूरोपियन यूनियन हैज रिसेंटली इनेक्टेड द यूरोपियन एआई एक्ट 2024। यही सबसे जो एडवांस जो है आपको जो है लॉ है जो कि यूरोपियन यूनियन ने इसको बनाया हुआ यूरोपियन यूनियन एआई एक्ट 2024 which is the world first comprehensive risk based framework regulating AI। It classifies AI applications into high risk, medium risk and low risk categories। ठीक है, इसको कैटेगरीज वाइज जो है डिफाइन किया गया है कि हाई रिस्क उसको कहेंगे तो हाई रिस्क में जो है हेल्थ केयर है, राइट, क्राइम है, इस तरीके की चीजों को जो है कंट्री वाइज जो है डाला गया है। ठीक है, जिसकी जिस तरीके की प्रायोरिटीज हैं उस तरीके से उन्होंने हाई रिस्क, मीडियम रिस्क और लो रिस्क में इसको डिवाइड किया है। लेकिन व्हेन वी टॉकिंग अबाउट द यूनाइटेड स्टेट बाय कंट्रास्ट फॉलो द सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक अप्रोच। वहां पर इन्होंने जो जिस तरीके से यूरोपियन यूनियन ने क्लासिफाई किया था हाई रिस्क, मीडियम रिस्क और लो रिस्क में, उसी तरीके से यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ने जो है आपको जो है इसको फॉलो किया है सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक जो है अप्रोच में, राइट। तो सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक अप्रोच मींस क्या है, रेगुलेशन इज अ रेगुलेशन इज लेफ्ट टू existing laws in area like health, finance and consumer safety। चाइना ने भी अडॉप्ट किया है, चाइना अडॉप्ट है स्ट्रॉन्ग जो है स्टेट कंट्रोल जो है मॉडल इंटीग्रिटी एआई डेवलपमेंट विद नेशनल सिक्योरिटी पॉलिसीज। और इंडिया मस्ट लर्न फ्रॉम जो है these diverse approach and adopt the model that balance innovation with right protection। because हमारे पास इंडिया में अभी तक कुछ नहीं है, हम एआई धड़ल्ले से यूज कर रहे हैं, but currently India has no dedicated AI legislations। Instead, Instead, AI related issues are addressed through existing institutes like the Information Technology Act 2000 provides for the cyber liability, while the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023 focuses on safeguarding individual data. ठीक है? Intellectual property rights under the Copyright Act 1957 are now being debated for AI generated works. तो ये जो हमारे पास जो है लॉ है वो स्पेसिफिकली इस तरीके के लॉ नहीं है जो कि जो है इस तरीके के डीफेक और एआई से जो हमारे सामने जो चैलेंज आ रहे हैं उनको जो है मीट आउट कर ले। लेकिन फिर भी जो है लॉ इन्फोर्समेंट जो है एजेंसीज पर्टिकुलरली अगर आप यूके यूएस की बात करेंगे आर आल्सो स्ट्रगलिंग टू कीप अप विद द एआई इनेबल्ड क्राइम ड्यू टू द रिसोर्स एंड स्किल गैप्स। और वही सेम प्रॉब्लम्स ये है कि इंडिया इज आल्सो फेसिंग दीस टाइप ऑफ इश्यूज बिकॉज वी don't have such a very strong legislations which meet out the such problems. तो यहाँ पर क्या है कि the same technology can also aid investigations, but creating a specialized AI task force adopting their detection tools and collaborating across their sectors, law enforcement can turn AI into a weapon against their human. AI can infiltrate dark web market, identify suspicious pattern and even predict emerging threats. तो यहाँ पर ये है कि जो भी विशेष AI जो है अपराध टास्क फोर्स बनाई जाए उसका आधुनिक उसमें टेक्नोलॉजीज होनी चाहिए, वीपन्स होने चाहिए जो कि विभिन्न क्षेत्रों में पुलिस को हेल्प कर सके और वो अपराधियों को पकड़ सके क्योंकि आज एआई डार्क वेब और इस तरीके की जो चीजें हैं जिसको ट्रैक करना इट नॉट द इजी टास्क बिकॉज अगर आपकी पुलिस या जो भी लॉ इन्फोर्समेंट एजेंसीज हैं दे आर नॉट वेल एजुकेटेड वेल इक्विप्ड विद द टेक्नोलॉजी एंड ऑल तो वो इन सारी चीजों को ट्रैक नहीं कर पाएंगे। Mitigating AI crime, multifaceted approach क्या होनी चाहिए? Regulatory framework वो हमारा बिल्कुल अच्छा होना चाहिए, right? Algorithmic accountability होनी चाहिए and awareness and training ये हमारा ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है कि by these three approaches we can mitigate the AI crime. So, tracking AI crime requires a holistic approach. Strong regulatory frameworks must be put in place, specifically addressing AI misuse. Algorithmic accountability is essential. That is ensuring that transparency, audit, and human oversight. Public awareness and workforce training are equally important because an informed society is far less vulnerable. Finally, international cooperation is crucial as AI crimes transcend borders and require global responses. Now, come on conclusion that AI is transforming crime at pace never seen before. If we are to safeguard society, we must respond with equal urgency. This is not a challenge for law enforcement or government alone, but also it requires collective actions from technology companies, regulators, and communities. Ethical innovation and defensive AI can help us secure public safety without compromising fundamental rights. Together, we must ensure that AI serves humanity rather than under mindset. So, friends, we are in a urgent, need to, like new laws also, which I discussed in my earlier slide. So, this is today's all presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable knowledge and enlightening us with your insight.
Thank you.
Now, thank you, sir. I would like to invite our Associate Dean, Dr. Aniruddha Ram sir, to say a few words.
Thank you, Manish ji. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. Respected Dr. Sasikant Tripathi sir, our most valued invited guest. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege
तो जय
to be
सर
part of
सिक्योरिटी तो अब हमकी जी आते हैं तो वही देखते हैं उसको
this occasion.
मेरे तक तो ये प्रश्न नहीं आया था
I
मुझे
would
तो
like
सर
to
जी ने
extend
बोला था कि उनको आने जाने में कोई
on behalf
प्रॉब्लम
of
नहीं
School of
है
Law and Legal Affairs, Noida
और
International University, and my own behalf of extend a
मनीष
very
जी
hot
मनीष मनीष
of
जी
thanks to our guest, Dr.
हाँ,
Sasikant Tripathi sir.
तो
I would like to extend my deep thanks and gratitude to our chairperson in absentia, Chancellor Dr. Bikram Singh sir, Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. Uma Bhardwaj ma'am, Registrar Dr. Mukesh Parasar sir, and definitely the esteemed Dean, the School of Law and Legal Affairs, Noida International University, Dr. Namita Joshi. I would like to special thanks to this faculty development program coordinator, Dr. Devendra Kumar sir, and Mr. Manish Kumar, Assistant Professor, School of Law in Noida International University. I would like to thank all the Dean and HOD of different departments for their support and also the faculty members. Once again, I convey my heartily thanks to all of you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
थैंक यू सर थैंक यू मैं लीव मनीष जी
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir. We are really very honored. Thank you, sir.
थैंक यू सर
Now, all the participants are requested to kindly wait for session 3.
Respected Manish sir, actually I had a query to ask, but the speaker has left. Anyway.
Sir, you may ask your questions.
Well, that is my question. It's not about only affidavit. Language.
Can we start with the session?
Yes, ma'am. With your permission, we can start the session.
Yeah, because I think I'm hooked up. How many of you are from internal and external, like external participants? Very good afternoon, ma'am.
Ma'am, few participants are still joining, so we will be just having some more participants very soon.
So, is the screen visible?
Uh, yes, ma'am. It is visible. Uh,
Shall I move it on the slide mode? Now is it visible?
yes, yes, ma'am. It is visible.
So current perspective, shall I start? If
I just want to make a welcome note to you, ma'am, if you allow me.
please, I think everyone knows each other, but still, thank you so much.
We are also having some person from other universities, so I think it is well deserved to give you a small introduction of yours.
Okay.
Okay. Very good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all back in session 3 of day 4 of our program. I am Manish Pratap Singh, Assistant Professor, School of Law and Legal Affairs, Noida International University. I am deeply honored to welcome our esteemed speaker for this session, Professor Dr. Tanya Singh ma'am. Ma'am is a highly accomplished academician and researcher, holding a PhD in IT and Engineering from Banastali Vidyapeeth, an MTech in IT from SIT Guru Gobind Singh Indraprasth University, and a Bachelor of Engineering in Electronics from MIT. She is also a fellow of Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers, senior member of Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, and a member of ISOC. Professor Dr. Tanya Singh ma'am brings over 25 years of experience in teaching, research, training, and consultancy with expertise in networking, security, data science, artificial intelligence and machine learning, and Internet of Things. She is a Cisco certified international trainer and actively participates in global technical standardization bodies, including International Telecommunication Union, International Electrotechnical Commission, Bureau of Indian Standards, and many more. She is also associated with the Commission of Science, Technology and Terminology, Ministry of Education, which develops and defines scientific and technical terms in Hindi and other Indian languages. Ma'am has conducted 21 training programs for corporate and government officials, hosted over 100 invited speakers, supervised 2 PhD candidates to completion, and currently supervising 2 PhD scholars. She has 75 plus publications and presentations in reputed database, including Scopus and ACM, and holds 3 granted patents and has authored books with Pearson on wireless communication. Her PhD research titled An Improved Real-Time Automated Intrusion Response System on Web Interface reflects her expertise in cyber security and real-time system. Her contributions have been widely recognized and awarded by various government and industry organizations. Currently, ma'am is serving as Professor Computer Science and Engineering and Dean Academics at Noida International University. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Professor Dr. Tanya Singh ma'am. We are truly privileged to have her with us today and look forward to gaining invaluable insights from her session. I now have the pleasure of inviting ma'am to begin the session.
I think my screen is visible. Thank you so much for this warm, kind of introduction. But I think we all have achieved great in our own life, and we're all first faculty members. Is my screen
Yes,
visible? So today we are going to. I just was listening to the speaker, and the speaker was was speaking so well about the AI and its intrusion on the cybersecurity. So I believe that we have understood that a lot has been done, but there's a journey. And Dean SLLA and the entire team of SLLA I must congratulate for organizing this faculty development program for all the for all the faculty members, as well as I think some research scholars are also here.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is so great about it. The most important for this faculty development program is that the topics that I was going through for this faculty development program is very apt, and it is all related to AI and how the AI and its tie-up is there with the legal section. While I was doing my research in 2008 and 9, I was going through most of the data, and during that time, I realized that a lot has to be done for the IT Security Act, which was a very, at a nascent stage in 2008. But later on, I realized that the government of India came out with some good legal, notations about IT Act 2000. And it really increased its way on when different types of the attacks started coming up. But, the challenge is unending. I must compliment Dr. Namita ma'am for organizing this FDP once again. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for all for the management in absentia, so that they organized and given a platform to each one of us to discuss and address this issue. What exactly is required these days is we all are aware of the chat GPT or Google Bot. So these are nothing but these are the text analytics which in India we are not yet ready to handle these issues very correctly, because again the IT Act needs to work out on this. So I was doing some research and I was finding that what are the various challenges for generative AI and copyright issues and how we can address them in India. As you can see, there are a lot of structured and unstructured data. So structured data would mean what we are writing, texting, emails, what we are putting as a PDF or what we are uploading on the websites. We do everything. So if I'm writing about my FDP program, so these many speakers came or this, so this is a structured data. Maybe each one of us may be texting at the same time on my mobile phone because I'm online. So not necessary that there is an eye-to-eye contact. So I don't know exactly if you're listening to me. So maybe you're texting, something you're saying good, something bad. So that is unstructured data. Now, what exactly is happening is I and you, we think that whatever we are doing on our mobile phone or whatever we are scribbling on our laptop, whatever we are writing on and saving on our desktop cannot be used. But this is the fact that we should understand that anyone can access your desktop, and 80%, it is very easy to access the desktop. Mostly it takes only 2 hours. Why? Because the desktop is something which is available on screen, and all the thing is that they have to enter the network and they have to just log in, and they need to understand what is your password, and they can remotely handle whatever is there on your desktop. A lot of crime is happening these days, but are we prepared for those crimes? We must have heard about the many of the cases that had recently happened where we were using Paytm, and there are many news coming up in the newspaper that suddenly remote access login was given and someone was calling me on 15th of August, and articles were there. And they said that, you have an electricity bill of rupees 10,000, and immediately if you will not pay, then the entire, we will cut your electricity. Now for a mother, or as my previous speaker was addressing to this issue, an old man or a mother or a child, they just get panicked. And what they do is they give an access to their mobile phone. They give you a pin, and what you do, they log into the pin, and immediately they get an access to the your Paytm, and all you have to do is to click a button and the entire money from your Paytm is being fished off. I think I need a yes or no when I'm speaking something, because I need a respond back. So this was something, these are a few cases which has been recently happening in India, but how an IT act for cybersecurity is like enforcing it. So basically, in order to understand, we need to understand that there has been a paradigm shift in which we are perceiving any data, or we are texting, or you are data mining, because everything is AI enabled. Generative AI is all text analytics, and there is a web scraping algorithm. This web scraping algorithm is again very easy to access. It's just a small plugin software that we need to use, and automatically what I can do is I can enter your system, scrap all your data, and I have to just summarize it, and the entire desktop summary will come to me. So basically, this is a challenge of today, and is India prepared for it? Is the address that we will be looking into this FDP program. The text data data mining is basically all used in generative AI, and all it needs is certain algorithm and techniques. I'll not be going for which algorithms and the techniques, because this is out of the scope for the lawyers who are here. But it extracts information from all the various sites, pages, and gives a compiled information as summary. So in case, even if you are typing something, or say I want to say to you that find good hotels nearby. So automatically I get an AI overview. So on the Google, the moment I get an AI overview. So that is what is text analytics. Now, earlier we used to go to the Chat GPT and access the content and ask Chat GPT to make the content for me. Now Google is also doing the same thing, and there is again Meta and different softwares coming up, which is giving you certain enhanced answers to what exactly you want, and everything is again linked to whatever the data or the structures that we are uploading on the website. So this paper that will be entailing what are we facing as per the IT Act when the generative AI, are we prepared for it or not? So basically, if I'm going to talk about the generative AI, the most important thing that I must be pitching upon is the information retrieval process. And the information retrieval process is basically a very, it's a unique method. Earlier also we used to use it, by which we will be using a large collection of documents, which was retrieved from the various sources. Earlier, we used to go to the library and, we used to sit there, or maybe used to visit a place, and then we used to take documents and everything. But now I don't have to do everything, because everything is now digitized and everything is coming on the web platform. So the information is now stored in the web-based programs, and it takes time while doing the search on the internet, as we have to visit several pages. So all we have to do is to click, just try to use a kind of ramming. What we are going to do is just write just one line, immediately relevant information to me. So basically, the process had a model, and the model was to find the most relevant documents for the various web pages, and then by using PageRank algorithm, the relevant information extracted. This is again for the lawyers, because IBM Watson is a tool, and IBM has already been working on this area, because as a lawyer, when I have to fight for my cases, put my arguments, I have to give back the cases for which there was the jury member agreed and or disagreed. So everything I want, so I have to go to the library, I have to sit there, I have to find the cases, I keep a record. So now I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is to just online, I have to type something, and on IBM Watson, it will give me a text pack. So all this is happening, and this is what was making the life of all the lawyers very easy. But actually, what was happening is, as the life of the lawyers are getting very easy, similarly, at the same time, the text analytics was growing. So again, we had natural language processing coming up in a big way. And the natural language processing would mean that there will be various languages, for example, Marathi, Tamil, Telugu, and different languages will be there, Mathli, and Punjabi, So all these languages will be now converted into English, and from English to Hindi, or Hindi to English. So now what is happening is, parallelly, many things are happening. We are not aware, but it is happening. So a lawyer of an Indian lawyer, I don't know much, but the Indian lawyer can go to any state and file a case for you. And suddenly you get a letter, and then you are saying from where this is and why it is being there. So everything now is coming digitized, and things are working very fine for each one of us. So basically, text analytics, I must be aware, because for a lawyer, artificial intelligence again is coming up, and it should be used in a very positive way, because we are already, most of the US, UK, they're already using it. So the text analytics is a machine learning process that decodes, tokenizes, analyzes written or spoken language through certain techniques and algorithms to extract whatever the information you want for a case. Now, if I'm going to talk about these, you can understand the multitude of the content. The content can be, uploaded at any place, but the content is uploaded. There is a crawler. The crawler will be searching all the information from the concerned area, collecting those information together and putting at one place. Now, the question is, the next important thing is why the generative AI was coming up in a big way, because we again wanted to know the sentiments of the public for a particular case that was happening. So what we did was we used certain tools and the blogs, and we analyzed it, and then we went for the written blogs, reviews, looking for certain patterns and the sentiments, and look up for some common words or the phrases. Now this again is being used with the help of the text analytics. That is again a tool, and we are going to analyze the sentiments. Okay, some neutral, maybe positive, maybe negative. So if you are very satisfied, so you may give an emoji that you're happy. So the moment you give emoji happy, and too many happy emojis come, it means the AI will tell to you that everybody is happy around. The second one is like neutral, whatever the sentiments are. You can always, now you don't have to even write anything. Now all you have to do is analyze the emojis, and very beautiful emojis are coming now these days. So the sentimental analysis using generative AI uses machine learning again models, statistical techniques, text analytics using web mining and data mining, as well as, for example, we are not aware, but it is the fact that Google wants to pay to India a lot for giving an access to all the Tamilian, text or even the voice calls, which is happening between the Tamilians or the Telugus, or maybe other places like Punjabi, a lot of they have done, Marathi, some very typical. Why? Because these are the customers. And these are the customers, and India is having so many, it's a huge population and so much of data coming up. So what we are, Indians are a market, big market for these people. And they understand Hindi, they understand English, the Google understands Hindi, the Google understands English, but the Google is still not able to understand certain languages in much proper way, because there are annotations that the Google may not understand. So for example, if I say any slant in my word, because if I'm from Bihar, I will be speaking Bhojpuri. So when I'm speaking of Bhojpuri, so maybe there will be a slant or maybe a small language that Google may not understand. So what is happening now is commercializing. Look into the affairs like from the commercial global perspective, that Google cannot market everything in India, because the Google is not able to go deep into what are the language annotations. And at the same time, Google is immensely ready to pay anything. Why these free ads are given to you? Why do you get so much of money for posting your reels on the social media? Or you see that you are earning so much by uploading anything on the YouTube, because they are all collecting your comment. The moment Alexa came to your house, we became vulnerable, because Alexa again even if you're sleeping, or your smart TV, even if you're sleeping or you're doing any activity, then what is happening is while you're sleeping or you're talking, you're finding that you another day you get a recommender on your mobile phone. Okay, these are the clothes we can go for, or these are the jewelries I can go for, or these are the different refrigerators you can go for. So you please understand, whatever we are doing, whatever we are speaking, whatever we are doing, everything is near your system. Everything is getting accessed by Google or Microsoft, and they're the market leaders. No one can beat them. So basically, everything was happening at the same time. Text analytics growing up, NLP. Now, natural language processing would mean converting the languages like Marathi, Gujarati, Punjabi, Telugu, Tamil back to English, and then back to Hindi, because I wanted everything to come in a common scenario. But at the same time, while I was doing it, I was not understanding that someone is watching me, and someone is watching you, someone is watching all your activity, and someone wants to, play out of it, some sentimental plays. So how they can play, they can manipulate with the social constructs or something. So now this is another thing. This is another tool, that is screen scrapper. So the screen scrapper will be capturing the visible images, and it will be collecting all the business intelligence for competitive advantage, to analyze market trends and create data-driven applications, or predicting the future demand of any new applications. So as you can see, I'm typing something, maybe I'm using my system to log into net banking, and suddenly I'm doing something, but remotely some hacker is there and he's looking at me, what exactly I'm doing. So basically I'm sharing my banking credentials with a third party, and this third party may be anyone, not the SBI card, or not the actual SBI card. They may be the third party, and they're managing your credentials. The moment you are through the third party, you are logging into the banking website, and immediately you will be finding that sometimes you will be finding suddenly आपको पता चलता है कि कोई senior citizen was there, and the senior citizen is being duped of 5 lakhs or 10 lakh, and the senior citizen is not even aware about it. So basically, these are all happening in this current world, as my previous speaker was speaking about it. Now the question is, what is the law doing, enforcement of India doing? So they came out with IT Act 2000, and it was only during then, if there was a crime happening, any cybercrime happening, the person would be released, because there were no clauses that if you will do this, this will happen. There were no clauses during that time. And then later on in 2008, they came up with certain more clauses, when suddenly they found that across the world, many happenings were happening. In 2008, there was an Estonia attack. Estonia attack was, the game changer in this field. What happened was, Estonia is a very small country, and when the attack took place from the Ukrainians and the Russians, they were all the mafias. They disrupted the bank services, they disrupted water, because everything was digitally connected. And suddenly then India realized that it's time, if I'm not going to come up with IT Cyber Act, then things will become very difficult, because we are growing population. And so IT Act 2000 is a primary legislation in India that governs cybercrime, commerce, and cybersecurity, providing a legal framework for any of the electronic transactions. There were fraud coming up for the Zoom. There were fraud coming during COVID-19 also. There was so much of news coming up that there was a data being sold. Each one of our data was being sold in the black market. So you see, understand that initially I'm putting the passwords on my mobile phone, on my laptop, put over where the data, the server, we are not putting any, security over there. So when the data is collected over on the server, suddenly you will be finding that my data is getting lapsed by the third party, who is where I'm just putting my data so that I can, utilize something. So please, I will say that don't go for any free softwares, because they're just stealing all your personal information. So it will be defining the various offenses related to computer systems and digital information. And in 2008, it was being further strengthened to ensure the lawful conduct of digital transactions and promote secure digital operations within India. So we can understand that so many frauds coming up, like Paytm, it's completely digital India initiative, and it's a very beautiful initiative. Most of the countries have offered in G20 to our Prime Minister that they would like to go for it. For example, many of the countries which are very advanced economies still do not Paytm. So the cyber laws are essentials in India, where internet is widely used. And the Indian cyber law, again, it is very important as we're dealing with generative AI. It again importance. IT Act 2000. What are the various cyber laws? The cyber laws have paved the way for e-commerce, e-government in the nation, and it has increased the scope and the consumption of digital media. A framework is required, and we will be finding that the legislation also describes procedures for filing complaints, seeking compensation through a body called education, which appeals process through the Cyber Appellate Tribunal, and it has now merged with TDSAT and changed its name to Appellate Tribunal on or AT. So now we are understanding that even if an IT cyber crime is happening in my credit card in Dubai, so now its purview is also outside India. So what are the key aspects of IT Act 2000? Is the legal recognition, for e-commerce, cybercrime, data protection, and cybersecurity amendments. But now we are again evolving, and as we're evolving, we should understand that earlier it was very smallly defined. Now we are going to define each one of it. What are the legal recognition of electronic records? How we can prohibit the cyber crimes? What will be the examples of the unauthorized access? What shall be the data damage? What do you mean by virus? What do you mean by denial of service attacks? Everything needs to be documented in a proper way so that there is no clause left. If a crime is taking place, the offense has taken place, no one can escape it. So data protection and security again became very important in India, because India was second hub of keeping all the data from across different countries, and it needed to act upon it after the disaster recovery and things happened in 2008 again. So these many important features started happening. Was regulation of the digital certificate. If I'm signing and issuing a certificate, so is it okay? Is it verified? Is it authorized? And is it authenticated? Everything needs to be taken care of. Then the blocking of the content. If anyone has written something derogatory about someone, then the IT Act allows the government to block public access to content deemed unlawful. Through this provision has faced criticism regarding privacy concerns, but it again becomes important in most of the current scenario. Cybersecurity measures. The Act promotes cybersecurity by defining secure systems and the procedures required to maintain them, which are critical for reliable and secure digital operations. And it has now started with establishment of body like controller of certifying authorities, and has led to the formation of CERT-in for cybersecurity enforcement. So when you go to the site, CERT, Computer Emergency Response Team, is in every country. And for India, again, if you go to the website, they will have the list of all the various, the attacks and the threats and the virus and the trojans that is actually moving in the market. So any of the IT student or lawyers, they should be aware what exactly is happening. Now, I'm moving to the next section. That is exactly what are the copyright. Is India okay with? Does it have any laws for the copyright for if any attack is taking place through generative AI? So what is the copyright scenario in India? So basically, again, I'd like to go back again, because till now we were discussing about what is generative AI the pretext to generative AI was NLP, text analytics. Then we were discussing about the sentimental analysis. Then we were discussing about how the public was misused, that is social engineering attacks, that through the sentimental analysis that was being happening. Suddenly you will find a lot of pop-ups coming up on the reels. So we've discussed all this, that is generative AI. So to generate any new content or insight, then it extracts information from the various sites, pages. So it's just a definition. Now we will be looking into exactly what India says about the copyright issue. Now for generative AI to happen, what is happening is crawler is going deep down into your source, extracting the content from there. So even if my content is copyrighted, it is accessible to the web. So is India prepared for it is the question. So according to the All India Commercial Law Review, while extracting data from web content, that is, it involves copywriting works, it not always considered copyright infringement, but especially when used for research purpose. So All India Commercial Law Review said that if you're using it for the research purpose, it is okay with me. But if you're using for the business purpose, then I will take action on you. But by the time you're using it for the research purpose, and who knows, you have already converted into the business idea. So now what is happening is suddenly my idea has been, stolen from me, and a business has been happening on that thing. So, however, if the extracted content falls outside the specific exceptions, and if permission isn't granted by the copyright holder, it can still be subject to the copyright. So yet the language is there, but yet we need to work out more on this. What does United States and European Union say about it? So in elaboration to the law enactment for copyright says that TWM, that is text data web mining, involves statistical analysis tools to extract knowledge from the large data sets and can involve copying copyrighted works. This can be seen as potentially infringing on the copyright's holder exclusive right to reproduce their work. So in US and European Union, it is used as a fair use exemption to copyright infringement. They are also speaking that, okay, you can use it for the research purpose. The Article 53.162.114 states directive on the copyright in the digital single market, formerly the directive by the European Parliament and the Council. It was related that if any harm takes place, then it is then they can take action on it. At UK, they said it's not free for all. The exceptions to copyright for TDM are often limited to specific purpose, such as scientific research, and may require that the use is not commercial or that the copyright holder has not expressly reserved their rights. So UK was still, significantly thinking about. Now, what is happening is there are many drug laboratories or many research taking place, and what they're doing is they're suddenly, even today, you can see earlier, even searching on internet was so difficult. We had to go to the various pages, make notes of it. Now all I have to do is I just write the content and I get an AI overview. This AI overview may be right, may not be right, because I'm not going to, ascertain with the facts and the figures, like the references. So earlier we had this Wikipedia or we had Webopedia. Now everything is done. It is gone. No one is now these days looking for Wikipedia or Webopedia and the references part. And there is no one to look into or cross-verify whatever has been written in this AI overview is right or wrong. So please understand, the crawlers, they have become so fast that within nanoseconds, you get the entire information on your AI website. So some jurisdictions like United Kingdom has specifically introduced exceptions to copyright for TDM, that is text data mining. These exceptions aim to balance the rights of the copyright holders with the need for innovation and research in the digital age. And if the content can be open access, then TDM is typically permitted for content that is openly accessible and licensed under Creative Commons licenses. Mean if you have given a right for the open book, only then I can the text can crawl into the system, and then anyone can challenge it. Now, please understand, if I'm doing a business, for example, I have a mobile phone, and I have this mobile phone of maybe iPhone of 1 lakh rupees, and I find a same copy of the mobile phone, maybe say a name XYZ, and the same copy of it is available in public market with the same features of 10,000. And who will purchase my mobile phone of iPhone of 1 lakh rupees to comparison of 10,000 rupees? So I get a cheaper version and the same almost similar version. So these are where the IT Act needs to understand that certain things that is of utmost importance should be also copyright protected, as well as the software is the copyright protected, the hardware is patent. That is, you patent it in your name, and then it becomes, it becomes your work, and you can always go for commercialization. So please understand, the commercialization, the moment we start commercializing our ideas, or we commercializing any of the business copyright, or the copyright of my softwares or the processes, during that time, this comes as important event, because my idea has been stolen, or my idea, someone has taken my idea, someone has stolen my idea. Now this idea is no more mine, but the idea has become someone else. You understand? So what is happening? The entire, your work, your research work has become volatile now. No matter how much you put your efforts, how much of the resources you put into it, how much of the money you invested to get out that research, certain chemicals you used, and suddenly that same chemical is being used elsewhere by the same person at a cheaper price. What is the most important thing is the competitive intelligence. And competitive intelligence would say that everything that you go for, any of the processes that you go for, you need to have a copyright for it, so that if any case, you can challenge the same thing on court later. So in case I'm talking about the data mining and the copyright liability, so the TDM involves using data that is protected by copyright. It can still be considered infringement unless the use falls within the recognized exception, or the copyright holder grants the permission. So this is what we were talking about. Why did Maggie came back so well? Because if we look into the case study of a Maggie, it came back so well, even though it was found that the Maggie was being banned in India, because the Maggie formula, the masala formula, was never ever copied by anyone. So this is very important deal when we go for any of the business ideas, that your formula should not be copied anywhere. Otherwise, what happens is you can create the same market for the whole thing, and at the cheaper price, and you can beat, say, many of the companies like Canon. Many of the companies, they cannot survive because they were not able to hold their competitive intelligence, that is their ideas or their formulas with them. So no copyright in facts or ideas. It's important to remember that copyright protects the expression of ideas, not the ideas or fact themselves, as the protection of the idea. When TDM is used to analyze a copyrighted work, that is when I'm using my crawlers, to mine the data, it is typically focused on the data or the patterns and not the expression of the work. Liability for TDM, the liability for TDM infringement can vary depending upon the jurisdiction and specific circumstances of the case. So some jurisdictions may impose liability on research organizations or institutions that engage in TDM without proper authorization or within the scope of applicable exceptions. So even when we are using certain data, we give a disclaimer that, if you're using it for inappropriate use, then you are liable for the Cyber Act. So the context, if I'm talking about for TDM in Indian scenario. So we do not yet have any legal versions of the work or the article that speaks on what extent do we work on text data or web mining. So now this is very important, critical for India, because so many, we are getting so many global agencies coming to India, setting up their market, and they're using our market, and they're using the young people, dreams and their aspirations, and they are throwing so many things to us, and we are just the consumers. We are not the producers, and this is the biggest challenge that we Indians are facing. But we do not have any excess, or we do not Indian Act in case any, somehow some phishing is taking place, or my sentimental is being taken for bad use. I don't have any infringement act with me. So they are not liable for any case. So this is very important. For example, I'm in India, I am producing my own car, or I'm producing my own pesticide, or I'm producing my own toy. But, suddenly I'm finding that Britishers are coming, or maybe some US is coming, or maybe the China is coming, and they are able to take, they are using my content, my ideas, and they're making their own. They're enriching their own source, or they're buying me. The big fish always eats the smaller fish. So it happens like this. So in that moment, I cannot go to the court and fight for it, because my ideas and my patents are all put on the desktop, and anyone can crawl it, and anyone can take whatever it is there. So the IT Act in India does not directly address TDM. In the context of copyright, the IT Act primarily focuses on cybercrime, electronic records, and digital signatures, not specifically on the use of text and data mining techniques. Copyright issues related to TDWM are dealt under Copyright Act 1957, which has limited exceptions for fair dealing and does not specifically address anything on TDWM. So this is something through this platform I'd like to, sensitize that we need to understand what are the challenges of the generative AI, because we are just using it. We're just using it, consuming it. We're not understanding that they're actually coming into my personal life, looking into what exactly is happening in my personal life. And, everything is public. Whatever I want to, I don't want to share with anyone, suddenly it becomes public. So do I have, when I go to the court and when I challenge it, do I have an act for it on which I can penalize the person or the organization who's doing it? The IT Act scope provides a legal framework for cyber activities, but it will not be, looking into the copyright issues. So basically, copyright and TDM is a symbiotic relationship, involves computational techniques. I'm being a lawyer, I'm also using, text data mining, because I would like to go to the, website IBM Watson and other places where I can get all the various legal, data with me. But actually, whether that information was copyrighted, I'm not aware about it, because the disclaimers were not used by the software while it was getting uploaded. So basically, this is all about the results and the discussions. There's ongoing brainstorming and legal discussions about whether the existing provisions of the Copyright Act in India and other countries, such as fair dealing, are sufficient to accommodate TWM, and whether specific exceptions are required, and IT Act needs to be further improvised on it. So this is all from my side. These were certain collections that I took from the various different places. And any questions that you'd like to ask me?
Participants, if you have any question, you can ask.
I'm not a lawyer, but I would like to tell all the lawyers that we need to understand that AI has started taking all our information in a very big way, and how we can protect it. So lawyers and everyone should come together, work together in a single platform and get things done.
Good afternoon, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. So I'm getting some thank yous from Kusum, and any questions that you would like to ask me, or there's a lot of work. I think you are the lawyers, you can sensitize and about it to the Indian government. You can write the petitions and all that. It generative AI के लिए भी आपके पास कुछ clauses होने चाहिए. With your permission, if there is no question, Anirudh sir, any question from your side?
No, sir. No, ma'am.
So there is a question, what are your views on machine learning? Machines, AI is only learning thing, and there is no such law. I completely agree to it, that we need to formulate law. The law is also not there in US in a proper way. And that is the reason there was a fight between Samsung and Apple. Again, we saw the fight between Pepsi and Cola, because what is happening is the infringement is always getting, so again, it's a very thin line, symbiotic relationship. And what else? But I think what is the most sentiments needs to be protected. Sentiment analysis, because if I'm writing anything on the blog without thinking, sometimes I become very angry. So what is happening is, if I become very angry, suddenly I text something, and the moment I'm texting something, it is impacting me, because maybe I am texting to that person, but Google is listening me. So that is very important for us to understand. So there was another question. I think one good question I saw for the deep fakes. The deep fakes, again, impersonation, IT cyber act is there. But deep fakes, like how, from where the origination is, from where the source is, that we have to rethink about it, and we have to make certain standards out of it. Any other question? Ma'am, are there any laws with? Yes, it is there in the deep fakes in India is there with IT's Cybersecurity Act. I think the clause is 66. Okay. So we can work. There are many ideas coming up by the scholars and the faculty members. So I think we can work together for the AI side into these IT acts. Namita ma'am, with your permission.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your valuable insights. It was indeed an engaging session, and I'm sure it will serve as a meaningful addition to the knowledge of all the participants. And with these words, now I would like to invite Dr. Namita Joshi, ma'am, Dean SLLA, to say a few words.
Administrator, madam. We know you as a good administrator because you are holding the position as a dean academic here. So today I find it just like as a mentor that who is listening to the people and the students with very patience, and whatever they are questioning, and you are answering them, and you are guiding us with very wisdom. And so it's really encouraging with kindness. It's a really completely a different form that I have seen it here today. And you are approached for the nurturing and to genuine for the concerns of the students' growth that will reflect whenever we interacted, or either I talk about these sessions. So this theme is reflecting in your action as well, not only your words. So thank you very much, ma'am. Thanks a lot. And I think that on behalf of my complete School of Law and Legal Affairs, I would like to thank you even from other participants. They all are very happy, and just as I'm reading the comment that they are giving here. So thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, and thank you, Team SLLA.
Thank you, ma'am. If you allow us a few minutes, I just want to invite Dr. Deven sir, Associate Professor SLLA, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Please, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. the dignitaries, distinguished faculty members, colleagues, and dear participants. It is my privilege to extend the vote of thanks at the conclusion of today's enlightening session of our faculty development program on artificial intelligence, transforming justice, research, and legal education. On behalf of the organizing committee and all participants, I express our sincere gratitude to Professor Dr. Tanya Singh Ma'am for her thought-provoking lecture on challenges for generative AI and copyright issues in India. Ma'am, your in-depth reflections on the Information Technology Act 2000, the complexities of structured and unstructured data, and the critical concern of data privacy and data mining, along with the copyright challenges emerging in the age of generative AI, have offered us a comprehensive perspective on this evolving field. Your insights have broadened our understanding of how law, technology, and ethics must come together to address the pressing challenges posed by the AI. The clarity and depth with which you delivered your talk will surely inspire further research and meaningful dialogue among all of us. I also thank our dignitaries, Vice Chancellor Ma'am, Dean Ma'am, Associate Dean Sir, faculty colleagues, and participants for their active support and engagement. Thank you once again, ma'am, for your invaluable contribution to this program. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
The permission, shall I leave now? Thank you so much, Namita ma'am and team SLLA, Dr. Devendra, Manish, Pratapji, Adinod, Ram, everyone. Thank you so much. We'll again meet.
Thank,
Thank you.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks to all the participants. I have shared the feedback link in the comment box, so you all are required to fill it. Thank you for being with us in the entire session. We will connect back tomorrow in the next session. Thanks to all.